Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here for the November meeting of the HPC. Hopefully everyone has an opportunity to review the agenda as needed, and hopefully we'll have all the applicants joining us when their time comes. Let's see, the first item that we have on our agenda today is the approval of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is good there. So we can go ahead and jump into our action items. The first address on the agenda is 2110 Rivermont Avenue. And as I call the addresses forward, if a representative for the property, whether it be the homeowner or a contractor, please state your name and address for the record, and then give us a brief rundown of the COA as it's been submitted.
Okay, my name is Dave Bond, and I own the home at 2110 Rivermont, and I am petitioning to change the lighting on the front porch, both on the front door, and I'd also like to add to that the side door, as well as the hanging lamp, pendant lamp on the front porch to a different style.
Excellent. Commissioners, have there been reviews? Anybody like to make a motion on this?
Well, it seems to me from reading the guidelines that the proposed lighting does not meet with the guidelines.
Okay, is that because it's not boxed?
It's, you know, it should be plain, unless I'm reading the guidelines wrong. Whereas the pendant light did, in my opinion, appear to meet the light that's there now meets the guidelines.
Would it be all right if I offered an alternative at this point, or is that not possible?
Sure, I'm happy to hear your alternative. I can only speak my opinion, but I prefer what you're suggesting over what's there. I've seen these up close and I'm familiar with what they are.
Okay, let me see if I can share my screen here and let me know. That doesn't look like, did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this would be an alternative, maybe more appropriate?
To my mind, that is much more appropriate.
Okay, and then the pendant would look like that.
Yeah.
Yep, I would concur.
Okay.
I would move acceptance of the boxed light fixtures and the hanging pendant.
Okay, and also in the original COA application, I did not have the side door light that also is there. So is it okay to do 3 wall lights and the 1 pendant?
They would all be matching?
Yeah, the walls would be all 3 the same, and the pendant would be what's in the picture there.
Victoria, there's a problem with that, is there?
No, there's no problem with that. You can do a conditional COA and say these 3 lights and the pendant.
All right, I move acceptance of the 3 boxed lighting fixtures and the boxed hanging pendant.
I second
Is there a
that.
second? Any further questions, comments, or concerns before we call for a vote? Hearing none, Victoria, you can do a roll call if you prefer.
Commissioner Irquiagua.
Aye.
Commissioner Horner.
Aye.
Commissioner Lipsey.
Aye.
Commissioner McSwain.
Aye.
Is Commissioner Morris there?
No, it's not.
Commissioner Spencer Hester.
Aye.
Great. Looks like you are approved. Those lights will look fantastic. Best of luck with your work.
Okay, and do you need any documentation for this versus what I had submitted earlier?
If you could send that to me so I can include it in the records,
Sure.
that'd be great.
Okay. All right, appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, folks, next up we have 812 Rivermont Avenue.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jason Shaner. I'm from Derbyshire Real Estate. We represent the owner of Ski Realty. We manage his properties. I'm not sure what the process we're going by right now is.
You can just state the nature of the specifics of the COA, and then we'll open for a motion following that.
Okay, perfect. So right now, the roof is leaking. There's considerable damage happening on the interior. We've staved off with just doing patches and stuff like that. We are proposing, instead of going back with a metal roof, we're looking for a slate lookalike. We were receiving quotes for 12,500 and on up for getting that metal roof replaced. And it's just a great cost for the owner at this time. He owns 5 other houses up and down Rivermont, and we're trying to basically bring them all up to improve the area and just get the homes in nice condition. I do have a couple pictures that I'd like to go and try and share if I could. All right, I was smart enough to know how to do this, right? Open share tray.
You might have to move your cursor along your window and look for something that has a show conversation and a raise your hand button. And on that same bar, there should be something that says shared content, or you could Control-Shift-E. I think that might work for you.
All right. Share tray. All right. Is this currently sharing a photograph of the 812 Rivermont?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is from the sidewalk from the front of the house, the sidewalk closest to the home. You can barely see the roof as it is. And this is from the other side of the street. So I'll kind of zoom in on this. We're basically looking at doing something like this. It'll look a little bit nicer than my poor photoshopping skills when it's finished. But it's really won't be hugely noticeable until you're actually in this the second lane of the road there. Other homes in the area across the street at 805, it currently has a shingle roof on it. 819 across the street has a shingle. The not next door has a slate roof, but the two going down from it, they all have shingle or shingle lookalike roofs on them currently. So I don't think it'd be out of place for the neighborhood. And really just at the end of the day, trying to save the property from being damaged.
Great. Any commissioners like to make a motion on this COA?
Do we know, is the roof that's on there now, is that original, or was it ever slate?
The owner purchased it probably about 5 years ago. I'm not sure if it was ever anything but the metal. The metal roof is really old, and it's the seamed style. that's up there now. It's been painted. We've painted it pretty much every year, trying to keep it from deteriorating any further.
Well, it seems to me that the guidelines clearly state that the metal roof should be replaced.
In kind.
In kind. Yeah, I didn't see any but if or maybe. It seemed very clear.
Yeah, and that,
I would
The
have.
second paragraph is very clear.
Sorry?
Said the second paragraph that Victoria is showing is very clear.
Yep, I would agree. That's the only reason I asked if we knew if it was ever anything else.
can I beg in front of everyone? Would that help?
No.
Instead of painting, there is an option. I mean, paint. Was it paint that you were actually applying that you said that you were doing year to year to help preserve it, or were you actually putting?
Thermal barrier, I think it was called.
You were putting the rubber barrier on, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's just no matter where we end up patching it, it just starts leaking somewhere else. It's just too many seams and not enough metal left.
Victoria, I think you worked recently with Gary Harvey on his house that he had a small porch that had a tin roof that had deteriorated, and he had a product, I don't remember the name of it, but it has been approved and used in historic districts, and I think here in Lynchburg before, on tin roofs that needed patching, if you will, that were leaking, and that has been approved. I don't have the name of that off the top of my head. I could get that at some point, but that might be an option as opposed to a full replacement. It's a type of paint that seals.
Do you remember the address? I can try to look up the HPC project.
Yikes, I don't remember. Gary Harvey is up on Ford Avenue. He's a historic district of one house. I don't remember the name, the number of the street address though, but I know it's on Ford Avenue.
All right, well, I guess we'll go and look into that again.
Victoria, I can find that out when Gary's back in the office and shoot you an email if this wants to maybe be tabled and come back for the next time. I can provide that document, and then the client, the owner, can do some research and see if that meets their needs.
Okay, that sounds like a good way going forward. I'm not as fast as I'd like to be in finding this. So that's an option.
If it's just a sealant, would that be, or could that be administratively approved, or would that have to come back before the commission?
I think it depends on the extent of the work done and on the appearance. I don't know enough about it to make a call on that right now, but we'd certainly consider it.
Okay.
So do we have a motion to table this COA pending additional information or alternative?
So moved.
Is there a second?
One second.
All right, all those in favor of tabling this while some more research is done for appropriate material to be used on the roof?
Commissioner Irguiagua?
Aye.
Commissioner Warner?
Aye.
Commissioner Lifsey?
Aye.
Commissioner McSwain?
Aye.
Commissioner Morris is absent, and Commissioner Spencer Hester?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Shaner, are we clear on the information? I think we'll be working to get some information to you regarding that other material, and then let you all do your due diligence on it as well for this property before looking at again on the next round in December.
All right, I can do that. Thank you so much for your help.
I'm sorry?
I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Next up, we have 608 Washington Street. Oh, I think Mr. Gaddy, are you there?
I am still here, yes.
All right, very good. You are up, sir.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm Patrick Gaddy. I live at 608 Washington Street. I have a chimney that's in need of chimney caps. I have never been aware of any previous caps being on the chimney. I've been in the house 37 years. I am putting a chimney liner in, and it requires a cap. So that's why I'm asking. And this is the cap that the contractor sent to me that he would propose. I am open to suggestions for things that might be more attractive, but it's all due to the fact that it has to fit and hook up to a chimney liner.
Understood. Commissioners?
I think if we go back again, looking at the guidelines, clay, slate, or stone is what is recommended as opposed to a metal. Seems like the only time we have looked at metal is if it was capping a chimney to seal it from any water going in, and it was a simple flat on the top, as opposed to what's shown in the images in the application.
So have you experienced other people that have had to install a chimney liner, and how was that capped?
Chris, I don't have a specific memory. I know we've, it seems like there were some slate ones approved recently. I'm not sure if that was on a liner. I think it was on an active chimney though.
Yeah, everyone I recall has been on a non-functioning chimney where they were sealing it. Not something that I recall of this nature.
Well, Mr. Gaddy, can I ask it? It says, let me review that real quick. Hold on one very quick second. I thought it was only, I thought it was only for the caps on the two flues, not that whole not that whole copper surround.
The copper piece wouldn't be there. It would just be the two caps.
Right,
Yes,
just the two vent caps. That's what I thought. That whole copper surrounding piece, commissioners, I didn't think that was part of it. As the applicant said, it's not included. That's just on a different chimney.
Thanks for bringing that up. The only other option I have, if I don't vent my furnace and my hot water heater through the chimney, is to have a power vent, and my heating and plumbing people don't advise it. They would recommend it vent naturally through the chimney.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So question, do you know, is it these two styles shown, or can you go with both of them being the shorter one so it may not be visible from the road?
I asked him about the taller one is the one that's on the chimney liner. And I think there's certain requirements about how high it has to be. I can do more exploration or challenge some other people about it, but when I look too, it looks like it's what, 10 inches maybe?
Yeah, 10, 12, I don't know, something in that range. I don't know. I think in my thoughts is that would be great if you could confirm, I guess, what the requirements are, or if the shorter solution is an option for both of them, or what, if anything, could be done that would make it, less visible from the road.
Yeah, Mr. Gotti, if he is just extending the terracotta liner, that will come up, and that terracotta extends up just about 4 inches above the top of the chimney itself. And the shorter one in that picture snaps right on top of that, and it has a screw on each corner that goes in and tightens down, and it works perfectly. I've seen it. Actually, I have that one on 2 flues on my own house, and it works very well. It is very low profile. And I'm like Mike, I think that at this distance, that low profile, particularly if it's black or the same color as the chimney red, it would drop back and not be visible if it's the shorter one.
Okay, so would you like me to go back and see if I can verify the requirement for the height for the one on the chimney liner? To see if it will accept the lower one, or there's another version?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
Is there a motion to table this for pending clarification or specification of what is to go up there?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of tabling this based on waiting for confirmation of the exact specification for the caps?
Commissioner Iguiagua.
Aye.
Commissioner Horner.
Aye.
Commissioner Lipsy.
Aye.
Commissioner McSwain.
Aye.
Commissioner Spencer Hester. Commissioner Spencer Hester. You can read it. Is that a thumbs up?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And with Rick Morris absent.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Gaddy, thank you for your time on that and your ability to go and review that information with your contractor and see what can ultimately be used in that space per whatever the regulation is to make sure it's safe, of course.
Yep. All right. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, we have 1019 Rivermont Avenue. Is there a representative on board here?
I did speak to the representative several weeks ago to confirm that he wanted to come to the November meeting. He did say he wanted to come. We explained what I had sent to him via emails saying what was needed, what verification was needed. He said he'd get some information back to me, never received anything. And a decision does have to be made today due to the 60-day limit in code. So he did mention that there is a very steep grade behind the house, so he didn't think anything would be visible. Other than that, there's not too much information I have to add to this.
Anyone like to make a motion? I mean, I'm looking at it here as well, and that steep grade is quite prevalent. I don't even know if the top of the fence would be visible. If you look at the picture of the property, you can see there the pickup truck in the background going up that alleyway towards the road, and that concrete wall that's to the left in the picture is much taller than the truck, it appears to be. So I'm not sure how visible this really is, or I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Is
Well,
is the
Chris-
is the picture looking from Rivermont? The one that's on the screen now? Do you know, Victoria?
That picture right there that's on the screen, I believe, is taken from standing in the backyard looking up towards the road.
Up toward Rivermont Avenue?
Correct. Because there's that picture right there would be if you're further up the drive, or actually, I guess at the bottom of the driveway looking into the backyard.
You know, it's, Chris, you can comment on this, but it seems to me since we asked for more information, because we really didn't have a lot of information, that we should deny this and ask for information.
And the bigger problem is this is very much a stockade fence, which is directly prohibited in the guidelines.
I think that, just going off of my memory here, I think the applicant mentioned that the fence he was proposing was within the guidelines and he had just drawn something up for the commission to consider, but he was going to submit more clarifying materials.
Yeah, certainly the drawing and the picture of that right there, that's very much a stockade, you know, that picture and the one that's laying on the ground are very much, you know, your basic buy from Lowe's stockade fence, which is what we're not looking for in the historic district.
Well, I would move that pending, or because of not having additional information, that the application be denied.
I'd second that.
Any further comment? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote.
Commissioner Iguiagua,
Aye.
Commissioner Horner,
Aye.
Commissioner Lifsey,
Aye.
Commissioner McSwain,
Aye.
Commissioner Morris is absent, and Commissioner Spencer Hester.
Aye.
Okay. Might see this one again. Okay, I think that does it for the action items. I believe that we, do we need to adjourn to have the discussion regarding commissioners?
Mute.
Thank you, Emmett. We do not, since adjourning would end the meeting and stop recording. This is still part of the meeting.
Okay.
And I do have some guiding questions and topic points if you want to discuss it, if you want me to lay them out there. But to start, as you know, we do have a vacancy, and unfortunately we have another vacancy coming up in June. Commissioner Morris's time is going to be ending with us. And so council asked for some direction just to understand where the HPC stands right now, what they are looking for as a board. Maybe this is something where we consider what direction we want to see ourselves headed and anything you feel is missing from the board, from the HPC that it could use. And also what you feel the board needs in terms of representation. Are there any missing voices and perspectives? Do you feel like that what kind of candidates would make for an HPC that better serves the public? So those are the talking points I have for you today. They are not limited to these. It's a discussion to get a feeling and an understanding of where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Victoria, with Rick going off as a practicing architect, am I remembering that the commission is required to have 2 practicing architects as a part of? I see Chris holding up 2 fingers.
Yeah.
So the commission they need to have at least 1 architect, and then they need to have another professional. And the professional needs to be within the criteria of the either a DHR or something within Virginia, but it's architect, architectural historian, planner, or archaeologist. So there are some options in terms of the professional. It just so happens that we've had 2 architects for these past. Emmett, how long have you been on the board?
Just a year.
Just a year?
I think before that we've had architects on for quite some. I mean, I'm in my 6 or 6 year, and I think we've always had at least 2 architects on.
I think we need 2 architects.
Okay.
So, but Victoria, in what you sent out, it said we should have a realtor. Is that right?
It says that we can have a maximum of 1 realtor that deals with historic properties.
Okay.
It's not at least, it's a cap.
Okay. Okay. So we don't have to have one.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
It was also nice having a lawyer on the commission who, it was nice having that, that legal guidance as well. I don't know, something that was helpful to me.
Certainly. Is council actively reviewing applicants or volunteers?
They are. Right now, the plan is to review again with our feedback in December.
Okay.
Do you know how many applicants there are, Victoria?
I do not. This is done through the clerk of council.
Okay.
Do they submit directly to council?
They submit to the clerk of council and then reviews. Of course, they can come to me if they have any questions about the position, and we can serve as a resource, but the decision, it's really done through different avenues than through community development.
How do people find out that there are commissioner seats available or open?
It's advertised in several manners. It's on the website. I think there are some ads in the News in Advance at some points. Also, it's word of mouth. I don't know if you recall, but you can email anybody that you think would be interested in. Anybody who thinks they know, not even just limited to the HBC, but anybody in Lynchburg. They think they know somebody who would like to be on the commission, then it's also word of mouth.
Okay. Thank you.
I personally can't think of anything to add to what's showing on the, what does that mean? Audio connection? Am I still connected?
We can still hear you.
Okay. My phone just did something different. I can't think of anything to add to what's already, sort of the guidelines, what council is already looking for. So I don't know if anyone else can. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, in addition to what you're looking for, is there anything that you appreciate and that you like with the current board?
Well, obviously, everyone's willingness to serve and to be here.
Okay.
We've had a really good run of everyone attending meetings for a long time, so that's great. Especially considering the situation that we're in.
Rick obviously has a lot of skills that he brings to the table that many of us don't. And so obviously someone in that vein, someone with similar skills in construction or architecture would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm. The good news is we have for just a
little bit.
bit.
In particular, his residential architecture, his historic residential architecture background.
Yeah, I really think it's critical that we have somebody, another architect, and someone with skills similar to Rick's.
Well, the good news is if that doesn't happen this December, then that's something we can look for in June. For June.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Victoria, my understanding, we would need one for his spot in June, but we are also short one right now.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell you, a realtor would be really nice to have.
Okay. All right, we get one.
Yeah, I can think of one who's
I can
been
think of
before
one.
many times.
I can think of one that's a realtor that does historic selling, right?
Yeah.
Another point of order, Victoria, could I ask, I'm seeing at the house on Rivermont, that last meeting we turned down because we did not get, just like today, we did not get further information that was requested. And I see a sign out front that it's requested that because it was denied, he's asking for a special hearing. What's the process there? I mean, it was denied because further information was requested, but wasn't provided. It wasn't denied because of the specifics of the application.
Not to dwell on it, but whenever an application is denied, the applicant has two options. They can reapply, or they have the right to appeal to City Council. And this applicant chose the latter, and that's going forward with the information as provided on the sign.
So that will go before council at which meeting?
It's slated for sometime in December.
Okay. Would the HPC provide the chair as a spokesperson to answer questions at that meeting?
For appealed decisions, the chair to the HPC is the representative.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we've gone over what we like, what we might be looking for. Any other points, talking points for this discussion? All right, well, thank you all very much for being part of this. I wrote down your comments, and I will be putting this in a memo.
Great.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything we need to discuss before closing out for today? Hearing nothing, I guess we'll adjourn the meeting. Look forward to seeing everyone I guess next month at some point.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone.